A while back, I did a teaching on Psalm 34, and I would like to go back to Psalm 34 today. You know, it never hurts to study something a second time. There's 3 verses I want to talk about today, starting in verse 9. It says, "O fear the Lord, you his saints, for there is no want to them that fear him. The young lions do lack and suffer hunger, but they that seek the Lord shall not want any good thing. Come, you children, hearken to me. I will teach you the fear of the Lord." And what I want to center in on here today, I wanted to talk about wanting nothing, but the Lord kind of led me in another direction because these scriptures do talk about having no want. But I wanted to talk about the fear of the Lord. Sometimes we think that fear just means I'm really afraid, but that's not it. In these 3 verses, the word fear is used 3 times, and it's 3 different Hebrew words that I looked up in the Strong's Concordance, so let's run through them. Verse 9 says, "Oh, fear the Lord." That one is 3362, which means to revere, to be had in reverence. "For there is no want to them that fear him." That fear is 3733, which means afraid or fearful. Verse 11, "I will teach you the fear of the Lord." In that verse, it's 3374, which means fear or reverence. And I thought, okay, so what exactly does reverence mean? So I went to the dictionary because we talk about to revere something, to reverence something. So revere, according to the dictionary, means to regard with reverence or profound respect and affection, mingled with awe or fear. To venerate, to reverence, to honor in estimation, to honor in estimation. To regard with great awe or devotion. See, when we revere the Lord, we are to reverence him, revere him. Well, what does reverence mean? Reverence means a feeling of profound awe and respect and often love, to honor. Some synonyms of reverence are honor, respect, praise, admire, love, adore, glorify, exalt, extol, magnify. So when we're talking about the fear of the Lord, we're talking about revering him or having reverence towards him. We're talking about profound respect. That is the way we are to view God. We are to honor him. You know, when you honor somebody, you're not going to take their name in vain. One of the 10 commandments says, "Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord in vain." How many of us, without even thinking, use God's name in vain? We need to quit. Don't do it. I mean, not only is it a commandment not to do it, but if you revere God, if you reverence him, if you regard him with great awe or devotion, if you're in awe of somebody, are you going to use their name in vain? Let's say, who can we use? Take some star, George Strait. Yeah, he's a country music star. I'm not into country music, so that's why I'm going to use him. Would you say, "Oh, George Strait"? That would be using his name in vain. But do you say, "Oh, Jesus Christ"? Or do you say, "Oh, God," when you're upset? When something's bugging you? When you reverence, honor, hold in high estimation, when you have great awe and devotion, if you're in awe of somebody, you're not going to be putting them down. You wouldn't walk up to the President of the United States and spit in his face, would you? I don't care what your political views are. That would be disrespectful. And we are to respect the office of the president. Would you walk up to a senator or a congressman and slap him in the face? I don't think so. Because there is a certain amount of honor in the office of a senator or a representative. I don't care if you don't like them. Their office is to be respected. Say you go to a good church. You've got a good pastor. You look up to your pastor. Now, I'm not saying to revere your pastor, but you look up to him. And you respect him. And you honor your pastor because he is God's minister to you. Do you walk up to the pastor after his sermon and say, "Pastor, that was absolutely the worst sermon you have ever preached"? I don't care if it was the worst sermon he ever preached to you. It might have been the best sermon he ever preached to somebody else, because God ministers through your pastor. So you need to honor him and respect him. And how much more are we to honor and respect and reverence, be in awe of, love, praise, admire, adore, glorify, exalt, extol, and magnify the Lord, because that is what he tells us to do. And if you seek the Lord and reverence him, you'll not want any good thing. There is no want to them that fear him, honor him, reverence him. Okay? I hope you got something out of this, and I hope that you learn the fear of the Lord.